After the Republic of Indonesia gained independence in 1945, much of the land that was previously controlled by Dutch colonizers began to be utilized by Indonesians. Perum Perhutani, a state-owned forest enterprise, claimed ownership over 400 hectares of land in Tanjung Karang in 1972. The claim fueled conflict. As a result, the residents were no longer able to work freely on their lands. Indonesia underwent a huge change when the New Order regime was replaced by the reform period. Post-reform, residents tried to reclaim their land back from Perum Perhutani.
Waktu itu kalau gak lupa, bulan puasa tahun 2000 benar-benar ke DPRD Kabupaten Tasikmalaya memohon tanah ini jangan diperpanjang HPH-nya dan rakyat membutuhkan.
As a tool in the struggle of reclaim their land rights, the community formed the Pasundan Peasants Union or SPP in 2000. In 2003, the people gained the right to work on their lands. Through SPP, the peasant divided the use of 400 hectares into 320 hectares for crops, 30 hectares for rice fields, 30 hectares as ecological spare land, and 20 hectares for housing. Independently, the community also built a vocational school focusing on agriculture.
Jelas kita harus ada generasi penerus yang membangunkan kesadaran bahwa tanah yang hari ini kita ambil dari perhutani, jelas kalau itu tidak dibangun melalui pendidikan, tidak diarahkan, tidak ada pencerahan, mungkin oleh generasi kedua atau ketiga bisa saja lahan tersebut dijual.
Dengan adanya sumber penghidupan mereka yang dulu pergi ke kota mencari jadi buruh bangunan gitu ya, buruh kasar di kota, karena ada garapan mereka balik.
Pari Island is one of 108 islands located 45 kilometers off Jakarta's north coast. These islands are known as the Seribu Islands. Since 1990, Pari Island's residents have relied economically on seaweed cultivation. This export-quality seaweed was grown in the water around Tengah Island, with an average of 20 tons exported to Japan every year. But since 2000, the cultivation area was destroyed due to ocean current changes, when Tengah Island was bought and developed by a private investor. Due to the collapse of the seaweed cultivation, in 2010, the residents launched Pari Island as a tourist site. Pari Island is now visited by 1,500 tourists every weekend. Unfortunately, in 2014, a company called PT Bumi Pari Asri claimed 90% ownership of Pari Island. They wanted to build a resort. The residents have had to deal with conflict ever since.
Warga tuh sudah mampu untuk mengelola hidupnya sendiri kan gitu. Kita nggak butuh investor atau pengembang dari luar. Karena dengan kayak gini kita udah maju. Warga Pulau Pari mah nggak menginginkan kemewahan kayak orang hidup di darat.
Kasusnya sertifikat yang diterbitkan itu kan nggak ada mengatasnamakan penduduk Pulau Pari. Semuanya itu tinggalnya di luar Pulau Pari.
Due to the conflict, 4 residents of Pari Island have been criminalized and caught by police.
Dari tahun 2015, kami melakukan perlawanan secara lokal sampai kami menyambangi kantor staf presiden untuk menyampaikan permasalahan kami ke Kementerian Kelautan dan Perikanan. Kita tahu bahwa Pulau Pari adalah pulau kecil yang di bawah naungannya ke KKP. Kita sambangi juga ATR.
In 1924, Mount Halimun area was defined as nature reserve. The locals had utilized the forest to meet their daily needs back then. In 1992, Mount Halimun Nature Reserve was established as Mount Halimun National Park, spreading 40,000 hectares. In 2003, it was expanded to 113,000 hectares. The complexity of land administration, management permits, and many claims on the land causing uncertainty of land ownership and conflict potency. Administratively, the indigenous community of Kasepuhan Karang live in Jagakarsa Village, Muncang District, Lebak Regency, Banten. Since the 1920s, the community has had no access to their traditional forest. After Indonesia's independence, the management of forest came under state control. The hardest time for the community was when the area of Halimun Salak Mountain National Park was expanded in 2003. The new national park included Kasepuhan land, causing people to lose access to the forest. Residents who continued to work on their land had to deal with park rangers and face the threat of jail. In 2016, the government, through the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, announced the 462 hectares would be considered as the traditional forest of Kasepuhan Karang.
Lahan yang menurut kami adalah ada 3 kategori. Yang pertama kritis, semi kritis, dan potensi kritis. Nah, dari 3 kategori lahan itu maka kami menyimpulkan bahwa dalam waktu ke depan, dalam waktu 5 tahun ke depan ini perlu dilakukan penanaman, dan telah kami musyawarah dihitung-hitung sekitar 27.000 pohon yang harus ditanam. Dan dari tahun 2016 kemarin sampai sekarang ini alhamdulillah udah sampai 4.500-an pohon yang kami sudah tanam.
The people of Kasepuhan Karang are now fully in charge of their livelihoods. Youth groups have also begun developing ecotourism initiatives. One of the programs is Pesona Maranti.
Yang ingin saya tawarkan ini kepada pengunjung ini sebenarnya bukan sekedar jadi ikon wisata, tapi di sini itu ada beberapa hal yang penting buat budaya dan sejarah, karena tidak semudah yang dibayangkan untuk menjadi seperti ini.
Sampai saat ini kan pemuda itu masih mengelola wisata yang sifatnya umum ya. Tapi memang kedepannya akan dibawa ke arah yang lebih spesifik, misalnya wisata minat khusus seperti trekking, kemudian ada objek lain yang belum dieksplor, misalnya air terjun.
However, the area is rich with natural resources and is being threatened by mining. There are 16 mining companies holding permits to exploit cement and marble. Some of the residents protested the exploitation by mining companies. Conflict arose.
ada beberapa kasus sebenarnya di mana kecemburuan sosial antara orang yang bekerja di kegiatan pertambangan dengan masyarakat yang tidak bekerja di kegiatan pertambangan. Yang tidak bekerja kemudian merasa bahwa kami tidak mendapatkan atau mereka tidak mendapatkan apa-apa dari kegiatan eksploitasi yang dilakukan oleh orang. Kemudian orang-orang yang bekerja di dalam, terutama yang pribumi, itu malah tidak berada pada posisi yang cukup bagus.
Residents and some CSOs strive to limit the exploitation of natural resources. Participative mapping became an alternative to facilitate the identification of village and karst area borders. The residents have also developed capacity building programs to improve their skills in advocacy and empowerment.
Selama ini kami membentuk ibu-ibu bagaimana dia bisa melakukan kreativitas seperti kue-kue jajanan lokal dan pengolahan sampah, salah satunya ekobreed, salah satunya mendampingi juga warung sampah yang bisa ditukar sampah menjadi barang-barang yang bisa juga kopi, gula, dan lain sebagainya.
It's really interesting to come here and visit this area, this beautiful part of the country, and to see it firsthand, and then to be able to sit and talk with the communities and talk about how that they themselves are working to protect this beauty.
Sometimes you work a lot, you fight a lot for your rights, for your property rights, for everything. Sometimes it doesn't work, or you have not so much opportunities, but you don't need to give up. You should fight more, work more, smile more, and be happy and enjoy the moment.
Where the investors come and evict these people and give them just very little money. So it is very problematic, and we really would urge the government to think about these people and consider them, maybe not prioritize the company but prioritize the communities in Pale Island so that they can get a living and they can be well on this island.
What I really enjoyed about this trip is that there was a lot of shared learning. So we had half the participants coming from abroad, international, and half the participants were local. So, and the facilitators really managed to create learning among us.
I have learned so many things from this trip, especially the spirit of the youth here for their community. When I have learned that they are the first to initiate the ecotourism in this community.